This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the Dunedin City Council is spending $3 million improving road safety outside 15 schools around Dunedin, but not everyone's happy. A couple of Octagon market stall holders aren't enjoying the Octagon experience, while the DCC says a report is due in May. And Queenstown tourism operators are noticing the impact on visitor numbers as COVID-19 virus travel bans come into force around the world. Kia ora koutou katoa, I'm Melissa Barton. The Dunedin City Council is spending $3 million improving road safety outside 15 schools around Dunedin. But the removal of parking spaces around at least one central city school has upset local businesses.
Mike McMillan, who runs TM Automotive in Dunedin's Howe Street, is unhappy with long-term car parks being reduced to just 4 on his part of the street.
There was no consultation with anybody in the street in regards to this action being taken, and now everybody in the street has to try and find more parking, which is obviously at a premium.
The council says the reduction in parking is to make the road safer for pupils at the nearby George Street Normal School, but Jim Strang of neighbouring piano specialists disagrees.
This is one short block with traffic lights at each end. Nobody speeds up and down here. You know, they spend most of their time in this block sitting at the lights. So what good is it going to do to put a sign up there with school zone written on it when, you know, the school's not even in this street?
McMillan says in the 24 years he's been on this street, he's seen the council cut car parks from 15 down to just 4, plus a few 5-minute parks. He says the issue is symptomatic of council disruption to parking across the city.
These roading changes that they're doing in Dunedin, the Octagon and other areas, which are directly affecting people's businesses and people's lives, and there seems to be no accountability from anyone in regards to it. It's just done, and then, oh sorry, it's already done, we can't really do much about it.
The council says feedback from schools and residents in other areas of the city showed similar measures have slowed down vehicle speeds and improved safety for people. In Dunedin, The South Today.
About 400 people took the opportunity to graduate in person from Otago Polytechnic courses this afternoon. Graduates were led by pipers on the trek from outside the dental school, then along George Street. Proud family members filmed while some of the graduates exchanged hugs. Scores of parents and supporters cheered whānau members on as they walked in caps and gowns along Dunedin's main street to the town hall. Courses represented included midwifery, a certificate in whānau ora and more. Otago Polytechnic Chief Executive Phil Kerr received an honorary doctorate of professional practice. As the Octagon Experience trial enters its final phase, some small-scale retailers were happy to see cruise ship passengers dropped off in the Octagon again. Octagon market stall holders say they lost a significant amount of business during the early stages of the trial.
Some are not enjoying the Octagon Experience. Dunedin's central city was fizzing yesterday with 2 large cruise ships berthed at Port Chalmers and a constant stream of buses bringing visitors to Dunedin's heart. Precious stone seller Loreen Rosie says when buses don't bring tourists to the Octagon, it cuts her takings by well over half.
A good 75%. They'll come in through New World to come into the city centre when they've been dropped at Countdown. They might, if they're on an excursion, come as far as the eyesight. But if they're not doing an excursion, they don't bother even coming down that far.
Bone carver Eric Dyer was amongst the first people who set up the Octagon market in 1993. He says at the time the council was supportive.
We were advertising Dunedin and sending people in the right direction because we wanted to share our culture as well as our work.
Visitors from the Ruby Princess and Viking Orion came to the Octagon in droves on a perfect autumnal Dunedin day, making for a steady trade for market stalls. With the trial in its third and final stage, Dunedin City Council's Sandy Graham says anyone who has an opinion on the trial is welcome to be in touch with Council.
What I would say to them is they will get a full opportunity to be part of any evaluation of the trial, and then we will have both anecdotal data and the paymark data, which will show the level of throughput that what's been spent both in the Octagon and in areas outside of the Octagon, so we can analyse what the actual effects have been. But they can be as fully involved as they would like in the feedback to the survey.
She says the Otago Chamber of Commerce is set to help Council collate information. The Chamber's CEO, Dougal McGowan, says they'll be tracking retail spending across the city.
One thing we do know is that we believe that by getting the buses into Princess Street, that helped a number of the retailers, because at least they were closer than what they would have been down at Toitu. But we'll wait to see all the data that comes through, but the indications are from some that their turnover was down.
The stallholders say they're in the markets for the long haul and have seen many changes in their time. Although it's tough at times, they're hardy folk. Sandy Graham says staff expect to present a report to Council in May. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The 4-week trial of e-bikes has come to an end for Dunedin Police. Today was the last day police officers pedalled around the streets while on patrol. Dunedin is one of 4 centres across New Zealand where police have trialled e-bikes as part of a road safety initiative. Officers on e-bikes were involved in general patrolling, public relations and traffic-related jobs. Police say feedback was overwhelmingly positive, with the community loving to see the police out and about. They say other than the occasional heckle, there were no downsides to the patrols. Queenstown tourism operators are noticing the impact on visitor numbers as COVID-19 virus travel bans come into force around the world. A new marketing campaign hopes to lure visitors from less affected parts of the world to the resort.
Usually at this time of year, Queenstown is bustling with tourists, but the global spread of COVID-19 has started to bite the tourism market. Destination Queenstown Interim Chief Executive Anne Lockhart says there's been a noticeable drop in tourists, particularly those from China.
Certainly there's been a drop in the Chinese market, there's no doubt about that.
While the outbreak of COVID-19 is keeping many overseas visitors away from the holiday resort area, Lockhart says it's not all bad news for the tourist industry.
So whilst some parts of the international market have got reduced numbers, are bringing reduced numbers, other parts of the market are holding up, and are domestic and Australian and some of the other Southeast Asian countries.
Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says there will be increased border security measures, but which countries will be affected is yet to be decided.
There will be additional border measures. We will be reconvening throughout the weekend, as we've continued to do through this pandemic.
Ardern says the Ministry of Health's advice on mass gatherings has not changed, despite the cancellation of Auckland's Pacifica Festival. Sunday's memorial in Christchurch to mark the mosque attacks is still going ahead.
We have not had any new cases for several days. That is the case for today as well. And we don't have community transmission.
Meanwhile, basketball mad Otago Daily Times journalist Jeff Cheshire is on holiday in the US and has been caught up in the outbreak there. 2 NBA players tested positive for the COVID-19 virus, leading to the end of the entire basketball season.
The NBA has been suspended indefinitely, which is, I think, got everyone pretty shocked over here. Pretty surprised, but I guess it also shows you the magnitude of the illness, and it's making it feel a wee bit more real to everyone.
Meanwhile, in Queenstown there have been a number of campaigns underway to promote the region, both within New Zealand as well as to Australia. And next week we'll see an overall brand relaunch of Queenstown as an international tourist destination. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, the young and the young at heart celebrate National Mudslide Day in Ashburton, and cosplay, comics and contests are all on offer at the Edge of the World Expo this weekend. So catch all this after the break.
Hasn't been much of a summer, has it? Until now. It's hot, it's getting warm, it's great. This is the time of year we love this weather. So we have a lot of surplus stock and we want to clear it at real hot prices. 50% off anything that's short sleeve. T-shirts, short sleeve shirts, polos, everything short sleeve, half price.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
At Alex Campbell Menswear, get them while it's hot.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts, offering a free measure and quote. Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life. Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Extreme places and extreme animals. But some animals are more extreme than others. Join us as we count down to find the most unusual and the most extraordinary on Animal Planet's The Most Extreme.
Welcome back. Armed police responded to reports of possible gunshots in Dunedin last night, but it turned out the disturbance was due to a video game and a motorbike. Police were called about 5 p.m. to Abbotsford by a concerned neighbour who thought they'd heard yelling and gunshots nearby. Police inquiries revealed it was the sound of a motorbike backfiring, and at the same time a young male was yelling at his friends over online gaming frustrations. A number of armed police responded to the call but were stood down. Police say the neighbour did the right thing in calling police with their concerns. National Mudslide Day drew young and old to Maniaroto Scout Park in Ashburton recently. The day was designed to promote scouting to the wider community and attracted scores of people to try out a variety of slides constructed by the Scouts.
Mud was the theme of the day out at the Maniaroto Scout Park in Ashburton on Sunday. Hordes of youngsters took part in what Kia leader Nikki Glanville says has become a nationwide event for scouting groups.
Today is National Mudslide Day for all the Scouts in the country, and we have organised a huge big pioneering project as part of our mudslides.
Utilising water, detergent and a bit of actual mud, the activities included ground slides, a throwing target and a mega slide built by the Allenton Scouting Group, featuring a platform several metres high with a slide about 10 metres long. Glanville says the day was held in part to promote scouting to the wider public.
It's an open community event that everybody can have a go at and have some fun, and it's involving the Kias, the Cubs, the Scouts, the Venturers and the Rovers.
And adults were also encouraged to slide around in the wet.
It's not just for kids, it's for adults too, and we are just having a blast.
It's the second year the Scouts have opened the event to the public, and a second time it's been held at the Scout Park, previously having been run in Methven. In Ashburton, the South Today.
Cosplay comics and contests are set to be on offer at the Edge of the World Expo this weekend. The convention is to be held at Dunedin's Moore FN Arena, with all proceeds going to a children's charity.
Dressing up as cosplay characters before this weekend's Edge of the World Pop Culture Expo at the Moore FM Arena. This is the second time the fundraising convention has been held in Dunedin. Organiser Rory Foley says Saturday will have a strong emphasis on cosplay, while Sunday is tailored more for families looking for a fun day out.
You know, for $10 you get free laser tag, you get free multi-gaming, you get free bouncy castles and stuff. So it's actually a really nice day out for people.
Foley has been behind a number of fundraising events, such as corn mazes and haunted house experiences, and says all the money raised over the coming weekend will go to a charity called Camp Quality.
It's children that have cancer, and they get to go away for a week and actually forget about all the stuff that they're going through, and they actually go away for a week and have really good fun. And they're really, honestly, one of the best charities we've worked in a long time.
And he says he's been surprised at how much fun cosplay conventions can be.
So one of my friends, he passed away, and he was one of these people that went to these conventions all the time. And some people came to me last year and they said, look, we want to run this. And it's just kind of snowballed from there. And I was really surprised how much I enjoyed it. I was like, this is actually a really fun thing to do.
The event is set for this weekend, with the Moore FM Arena entirely full with stallholders and activities. In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, find out how coronavirus is affecting this weekend's Super Rugby match with the Highlanders in Argentina. And we have the weekend's weather for you, so see you after the break.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life. Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts, offering a free measure and quote. Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz. Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. For a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Hasn't been much of a summer, has it? Until now. It's hot, it's getting warm, it's great. This is the time of year we love this weather. So we have a lot of surplus stock and we want to clear it at real hot prices. 50% off anything that's short sleeve. T-shirts, short sleeve shirts, polos, everything short sleeve, half price.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
At Alex Campbell Menswear, get them while it's hot.
Welcome back. The Highlanders match against the Jaguars in Argentina on Sunday will be played in front of an empty stadium. The Jaguars announced today the Super Rugby match will be played in front of no spectators because of fears over the spread of the coronavirus. The sides are due to play at noon on Sunday, New Zealand time. Tonight's one-day international cricket match between Australia and New Zealand in Sydney will also be played in an empty stadium. It follows a slew of international sporting cancellations, including the National Basketball Association and the Melbourne Grand Prix. The entire North Island, parts of the South Island and the Chatham Islands have been declared as being in drought. Kaikoura and North Canterbury, seen here in file footage from last year, as well as Tasman and Marlborough, are now officially declared as in drought. Despite recent rain across some parts of the country, many rural people are still under pressure with water shortages and low feed availability. The large-scale adverse event declaration will unlock up to $2 million of funding to help farmers and growers from now until mid-next year. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. The Dunedin City Council is spending $3 million improving road safety outside 15 schools around Dunedin. A couple of long-term Octagon market stall holders aren't enjoying the Octagon experience, and the DCC says a report is expected in May. And Queenstown tourism operators are noticing the impact on visitor numbers as COVID-19 virus travel bans come into force around the world. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page. What have you got for us in tomorrow's paper?
Good evening. Yeah, not surprisingly, plenty on COVID-19 throughout the paper. It's affecting so many people and so many industries at the moment. We've spoke to a group of people who are stuck in Rome at the moment and desperate to get out. They were part of a 44-strong group which had planned for a 17-day holiday in Italy, but within days of arriving, obviously the city and then the country was placed in lockdown. They'd hoped to fly home, but their flights were scheduled to pass through Australia, and of course Australia's refusing to let them transit in that country at the moment. So it's a bit of a waiting game for them as they sit in Rome at the moment.
And really distressing too, because they would have been planning that I'd say for quite a decent amount of time to go over. And
certainly.
Yeah.
And you've only got to look at our own town, you know, lots of schools have planned trips they've been saving for and fundraising for years to go, and now they're in a bit of limbo as well. So
yeah.
Tough times for everyone at the moment, but I guess it's just echoing what's happening around the world.
Yeah.
A nice story with Otago Polytech graduation today, but the Chief Executive, Phil Kerr, was given an honorary doctorate of professional practice, recognising a bit of a distinguished career, more than 45 years in that aspect, and leadership as well. He steps down as Chief Executive in June, and he's been with the Polytech, I think, since 2004, but it's been a real, I guess, a driving force behind the Polytech's turnaround. For a long time. It had a lot of difficulties financially and getting numbers and its performance as well. And he's been
and then they became really strong.
Yeah, they have. They're one of the, I guess, the standouts in the country at the moment. A great honour for him and good effort from Phil. And you've also mentioned about this weekend of strange sport that's going on at the moment. We've got a cricket game in front of no crowd. The Highlanders as well, so we've got lots of sport around the country and the world that's impacted by this virus, so we've got a bit of a rundown in our pages. But no crowd problems in New Zealand as yet. The Steel netball season's about to get underway as well, so we take a look at that. We catch up with our new Trinidad international signing, Khalifa McCollin. She's here and telling about life in the deep south, so worth a look, that story.
It'll be a bit colder down here too, for it.
Certainly is.
Wonderful. So you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at the weekend's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the southern view taken of visitors of one of Dunedin's local characters in the Octagon. Now looking at the situation, a cold front is approaching from the Tasman Sea but will weaken as it reaches the far south tomorrow night. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are looking at maybe a cloud or two and a high of 20 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can expect clear skies tomorrow and 22 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, Kaikoura can expect clear blue skies and a high of 17 degrees, and it's pretty much the same for Christchurch, where you're expecting 21, and Ashburton you're due for a warm sunny day with a high of 22 degrees. To the southern towns, those in the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore can all expect light to moderate northerlies, some high cloud and a pleasant 18 degrees. Heading to central Otago, fine with light winds across this area as well. Queenstown and Wanaka can expect 21 degrees, Alexandra 22, and Tiana you should have moderate northwesterlies, rain later on in the day and a high of 17 degrees. To the northern towns, where it's a similar picture to the rest of the island, with light winds, clear skies for all. On the coast, Timaru reaches 19 and Oamaru 18. It's due to be a bit warmer inland. Twizel heads for 22 and it should be 23 in Omarama. In Dunedin, some low cloud or fog tonight with an overnight low of 10 degrees. And it's mostly fine and sunny tomorrow after early morning cloud clears with moderate northeasterlies during the day. Looking at a high of 17 and a low of 12, so it's a good day to mow your lawns. It's going to be cloudy on Sunday with moderate northeasterlies again, a high of 17 and a low of 13 degrees. And in Invercargill, fine tonight with an overnight low of 8 degrees. Cloud increasing and lowering tomorrow with freshening northwesterlies, rain developing from the evening, so get in and get your jobs outside done early. A high of 18 and a low of 13. Showers clear and sunny periods increase on Sunday with moderate cooler southwesterlies, looking at a high of 15 and a low of 9. And that's all from the South Today team for this Friday and for the rest of the week. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.